Talking about strong leaders, did you hear about Nayib? He's been in the media recently a lot.
For the people, because I know who he is, but for the people who don't know who he is, listening, who's that guy?
Well, he's the current president of El Salvador, and right now, man, he's doing a lot of he's been doing a lot of positive things for El
That's the
Salvador.
Bitcoin guy, right?
Yeah, he's the Bitcoin guy, man. Yeah, that's what he's known for. That he made it actually he made legit currency in El Salvador.
That's good. So
Yeah.
So that's what he's doing.
I
right
mean,
now?
people were talking about the fact that Bitcoin crashed, so they were like, "Oh wow, what he did was wrong," blah blah blah. But I mean, it's a volatile market, so.
So what's he doing now? He's
Well, right now he has a lot of plans, man. Talking about the whole Bitcoin thing, he's actually planning a city called Bitcoin City.
oh nice.
Yeah, but the main thing he's really trying to crack down on is crime, man.
This crime is that bad in El Salvador.
Oh, bro, at one point it was the murder capital of the world, worse than Afghanistan, worse than the Middle East.
Big ups to El Salvador, baby.
People don't talk about that though.
Nah, I'm kidding. That's so what's he doing? He's like more police.
So now he recently created supposedly it's one of the largest, if not the largest, jail in Central America or Latin America, and he's I think he's incarcerated 67,000 gang members.
Dang, so he just picked them up off the street.
Well, a lot of the gang members, you can kind of tell they're gang members because they're all marked up. They have tattoos all over their body and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
something tells me that if you got a tattoo on your face, you're not exactly a doctor.
Yeah, very, very true.
So what? He's just like, is he locking them up? Is he like?
Yes. So at first, what he was doing, and I was watching a speech that he gave that was really, really nice. At first, what he was doing is that he was locking them up, but he was mentioning in the speech that the way that it works in Latin America is that jails are considered headquarters, man. They're like headquarters for gang members. So what they do is that, yeah, they're incarcerated, but they control the jail. Not only that, they're able to get, they have internet. They have like, it's like you see in the movies and stuff when they like capture a narco or something and they're living their life in jail. It's just.
So hold on. So when you say headquarters, like gang headquarters?
Gang
Like
headquarters.
So wait.
Yeah.
So basically, if I'm a gang member, let's say I'm repping my set heavy, posted on the block, and I get picked up by the squads, and they put me in the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they put me in jail. I'm basically just reporting to headquarters. I'm basically reporting to quote unquote the big homies.
Not only that, yeah, they give you a bed to sleep, food, and everything. And a lot of things that they had as well in place was that they had a system. They had a lot of cops that were corrupt, and yeah. So what he did now is that I think he was working on it for the past 6 months. He created a huge jail, and what he's doing now is that he's just tracking down and arresting all the fugitives that they have in El Salvador. And so far, he's decreased 57% the murder rate.
So let me ask you something. So he's picking them up and he's throwing them in jail. Do they get
Yes.
like due process? Do they get or is that became gray all of a sudden? It's
Yeah,
like,
so that's another thing. That's another thing he's being bashed on. Yeah, he's not actually. He's not giving them. He's taking away some of their rights, and the reason behind that is that because for the past, I would say, I mean, if you want to go far back in 1990s when there was a 12-year war, but we're not going to get to that. We'll cover that in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to go back to that, the prior leaders, they tried, doing the whole humanitarian thing, giving them rights, giving them a lawyer and all this stuff. What ended up happening is that through due process, they were released and they went back to the streets and started terrorizing the citizens.
Oh, so some might argue like, what about the due process of the people, innocent people that they killed?
So I think what this guy did, if I'm not mistaken, I've just seen several speeches of this guy, and what he did is that he did a case study, right? And he just kind of studied what has been in place for the past prior years, and he's like, you know what? Let's go against the grain, right? Let's try something different. And I mean, within 1 year, he's decreased the murder rate 57%, which is crazy, unheard of.
I mean, if you keep doing the same thing and you're getting the same results and you're not happy with those results, it would make sense.
It sounds like insanity, right?
That's what he said, right? That's from what you told me before. Before we turned the podcast on.
Yeah, insanity. When you keep trying the same thing over and over again, it never works. You just keep trying.
Yeah. So okay, but he's showing results, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Are people concerned that within the wide net that he's casting, that he might be picking up innocent people who just so happen to have tattoos on their faces?
Yeah, that's one of the topics that was actually brought up, and I think what he said is that he is going as far back as, obviously he's looking at their faces, looking at their body to see if there's anything, any tattoos, any associations with gang members. Mm-hmm. But not only that, he goes far back. What he's trying to do is looking at, family members, seeing if there's somehow they could trace it back to like a gang member. So it's kind of fishy and stuff because what he's doing right now is that he just currently built the jail, and I think like a few weeks ago he actually transported, I don't know how many jail members to that new jail that he made. So he's just putting these policies and procedures recently.
I think you sent me a video, and
it was recent.
I saw a video you sent me where they were like what, in their underwear or whatever.
Yeah, man. If I'm not mistaken, when I was looking at that video, I did not see one gang member without a tattoo in their body.
Wow, I see.
Yeah,
and they all look kind of like
bald. Yeah. I mean, there must be maybe one or two innocent people. Like it's like that in any country, right?
I guess. Not to cut you off, but I guess if you declare war on somebody, there are going to be innocent people.
Yeah, there's always casualties.
Yeah, and again,
unfortunately,
folks, we're not
for the greater good,
folks, and we're not saying that we don't care about it, but we're saying that if the problem has been that rough that something has to get done, there are going to be some innocent people, I guess, that are hurt from what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah, and man, not only that, it's there was another speech that he had, which I found very very moving and motivation. Was that he was talking about how basically, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he was in front of a committee of different countries, and he was talking about how, you know, instead of being a commonwealth, which is something that they felt like throughout the years,
Spain or something like that.
Yeah, he said that instead of being that, we want to be partners. We want to be better than you guys, and not only that, we want to work with you guys as well. So he's a visionary guy. I respect him a lot, and I think that, you know, if he keeps moving forward, you know, maybe in the future, maybe in a few years, well, El Salvador might be, you know, one of the most developed countries in Central America.
Well, that's good. I think Mexico could really.
Definitely.
I think Mexico. No offense to Mexicans, obviously, but I think the Mexican country could be like Canada of the South.
We could talk about Mexico too, man. Did you recently hear about the Tesla Gigafactory?
Bro, I heard about
crazy.
That. Bro, take everything back from China, put it in Mexico, bro.
Yeah.
Put it in Mexico. Let the Mexican people are good laborers. Some would even say better laborers.
Yeah, they work hard. That's one thing you can't call Mexicans lazy.
No, that word doesn't even exist in the No.
It's not a choice.
No, shout out for them. They have no.
Really good work ethic, man.
Exactly. I would bring back all manufacturing to Mexico, and that's just me though. If I was them, and you know, say, hey, look, we believe in your country. We want to invest in your country. We want to invest in your people, man. Your people, you know, your people work hard. Your people come to America and they work hard here, you know.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about El Salvador, let me ask you something. You're not concerned with right now? People are. It seems like they're applauding it, right?
Yeah.
They're applauding what seems to be a government overreach. One can argue, right? Where they're picking people up, they're not giving them due process, right? They're applauding it now, but are you afraid that in the future, the president might take advantage of that, and all of a sudden his political opponent might have been seen with a gang member without proof, and then he gets arrested? Is that something that you think about?
Yeah, it is something I think about, and you know, the thing about it as well is that you never know. It might happen in the future. From what I can see right now is that things are going well. Hopefully things don't change. You know, as you can see, they kind of have the same system, not the same, but very similar to America, which is, you know, they're only able to run for 2 consecutive terms. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like if he has his agenda and another party wins, you know, his vision and all the hard work he put into, you know, trying to make Salvador better, it might go down the drain.
When you tell me, I'm rooting for El Salvador. Anybody who goes in there and is willing to like fight a good fight, and make the place better. Some people don't know, man. Sometimes to make something better, you gotta just use more than hashtags and change the profile on your Facebook to the flag or the.
But you know, talking about that, he's actually utilized social media for his advantage as well. Like he keeps posting up his speech. He keeps posting up and keeping up to date the world. What he's trying to do, you know, Salvador, just that way, you know, attracts tourism.
Yeah, and look, like I said, man, I'm glad that he's doing. I hope he's doing good work. And anybody who would say, yeah, but he's infringing on their rights. It's like, well, what about the rights of the innocent people that these gang members infringe on every single day? You know what I mean? People who are forced to join. That's another thing too. People who might be forced to join gangs for protection. I was talking to a guy. I heard him talking about it, and he brought it up a little bit, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together that he was talking about the guy from El Salvador. He said sometimes these people join gangs, and this is according to him because I don't really know the situation in El Salvador, but he said sometimes people join gangs for the protection that they lack from the government that was supposed to protect them in the first place. Yeah,
that's very true.
And so, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, now that you mentioned that, a lot of the members that were part of the whole, I think it's called MS-13, which, by the way, guys, MS-13 was actually, you know, originated in America, if you didn't know that. A lot of the MS-13 members, which were actually deported back to El Salvador, it was the remainants of the war, man, that happened, the civil war that happened. So, it's like you said. I mean, when there's no direction, a lot of people join and they have no choice.
I think from what it looks like, people are just more happy that somebody's taking the reins and somebody's doing what needs to be done. And, for the sake of everybody else, I guess. But history has shown multiple times that when the government gets a lot of power, they're not exactly too eager to give it back. And I try to study history, right? The only person that I remember who actually was offered more power, was George Washington, and he actually said no. Yeah. The country was founded to be a democratic republic. The country was founded that we elect leaders. We overthrew our king. We're not gonna replace him with another one. I'm doing these 2 terms, and I'm stepping down, and you guys elect another leader. That's the only person I can think of that actually gave back power in terms of the government. Most people, it seems, most governments everywhere aren't exactly too eager to give it back. Look at China. I'm sure Xi Jinping, whatever that guy's name is, I'm sure that when he showed up, he was like, yeah, I'm going to crack the whip. What did he do after a while? He suspended the whole 2-term thing, and now he can run for a 3rd term.
Sounds like a dictatorship, yeah.
Yeah, man. So,
yeah, man.
I wish them well. I do hope they do well. I just be wary that what you're celebrating today, you can be running from tomorrow in terms of the government overreach. But sometimes to clean stuff up, you have to get dirty. You have to get dirty.
This is very true.
And hashtags and changing your profile pictures to the flags and saying, we got to do better. It's no, dude. You got to get in there. You got to get dirty.
That's true, man. A lot of countries have to get dirty, man. Especially if you want to keep power and stuff. So.
Give me any beat.